So at some point, you write for city people.
Oh wow! At some point, I've been writing for City People for over 10 years.
Okay.
Over 10 years, in and out. Over 10. It's a decade. Wow. So I started writing for City People when it's a long journey coming here, sweetie. I used to do makeup. I owned a makeup brand, and so I started writing for City People when um, my boss, Shea Kane, who became my boss in the course of the job, Mr. Shea Kane realized that I had a flair for writing, and I think he just noticed the flair. I mean, I always loved to write, so I think he just noticed the flair, and he fell in love with the fact that I like to write, and I obviously like to write. So I used to write Poise and Elegance column, and I wrote it for about 3 to 4 years. For a while, straight, you know. And I was in my Koyi office at the time. I was running purely a beauty brand at the time. So then I stopped.
Why?
Am I supposed to say why I stopped?
Yes.
This is a sad story.
Why did you stop? We'd like to know.
Life. Because you see, it's just been tough. I don't know if I'm allowed to be real on camera, right? It's just been tough because you see, too many things were competing, right? For one, the home front wasn't stable at the time. Wasn't working. Things were just upside down. So I had to like stabilize, find time to stabilize, find time to write, find time to run a business. So I said the best thing was to take a break, which I think was the worst thing because writing was my getaway, so it wasn't exactly the best decision at the time. So then I started again, then I stopped, then boy, this been a long journey to get here. So then in between it, I mean, I've always run my businesses. I had a full beauty brand, then I had a jewelry brand, then I had my writing going as well. But I wasn't exactly practicing law full blown. I was practicing, but not full blown, So on and off. Then at some point, SK said to me, "You've got to keep writing. You can't stop. You like writing." I said, "Yes, I like writing. I mean, I've always been a part-time writer with City People, not full-time." Then he now said to me, "I have to be an editor." I said, "What?" No way. I can't swear, right? Well, I said, "No effing way." What? That is. I said, "Mm-mm." I said, "Madam, I'm saying think about it." I said, that is gonna kill everything. So he was like, he's not saying take it today. He's saying think about it. So he made me the editor of the weddings, right? Which was a big job, right? I was supposed to do so many things, and so we set out the plan. And I was writing for the wedding column interview. It was quite big. I've always been big with City People, real big actually. Without every sense of pride. I think Shai Kennedy has been one of my greatest cheerleaders in life. Because he's never been. Other people will see those problems, right? But he's never focused on it. He just never said, "Madam, you're unstable. Leave this thing." No. If I say to him tomorrow morning, "Sir, I'm ready to write," he said, "Okay, that's fine. Send in your column." So he's always pushed me on. He's always urged me on. He's always encouraged me. So every time I go and I come back, he's like, "You want to write again? That's fine. What should we go?" So right now, I think my column at the moment is called "Get Better Series," which I know I'm going to change again right away. So I mean, writing has always been a thing that has been of deep love. And I have grown with City People. And I think working there also helped with my business because in the course of my on and off with writing, I also, okay, so I started this business. Have you asked that question?
Not yet. I'm still enjoying it.
So the writing. So pretty much that's my sojourn into writing. And as a result of my writing for City People, it opened up so many other brands, so many other things, so many other opportunities. I started writing for Wedding Planner. And so many, then I started a TV series, I started a TV series and that went on for like a year. I started a radio series. So it was just like a blow and it became too much too soon. Right? So I guess that's why. So I say anyone who is thinking of going to start something, you've got to be prepared. You cannot be overwhelmed with what is coming. You can't say, oh, this is coming, I'm over. No, you've got to be prepared. Anything you're doing in life, this is my advice to whoever is going to see this. You've got to be passionate too. Because nothing else is going to. You can't make it. It's just what it is. If passion does not drive you, right? Now, this is your question. Why am I on and off in writing, right?
Yes.
My on and off in writing is passion because sometimes you get writer's block. But I cannot leave writing because I love it. So every time I want to do something else, it's at the core of every business I do. I'm going to write. I know that I'm going to write about this business. And I know that the doors of City People would always be open to me. It has never been shut. It's unbelievable. I don't earn a salary, right? But I don't have a greater cheerleader than Mr. Sheikh. And that is remarkable for me, and the fact that somebody helps to fine-tune those skills. On and off, this time around we will be stable. I guarantee you.
Okay, so I would like to know more about our signature right now. This one you're just
Well, it didn't start as a new signature. No, it didn't start. Let me give you a quick overview. It's been 15 years in the entrepreneurial journey. Yeah, I'm 17 years at the bar. Right, but I didn't really do much of law. I've always been in the business, so it's been 15 years on and off in business as well, right? Because as I was saying, boy, the struggle is real. Hey, this is where you get real. And please, whatever you do, don't edit this part. The struggle is real. Forget all these gadgets you see. I'm a hustler in the blood. It didn't start as all this fancy, all this chandelier and all this bling bling. It started with a briefcase. I mean 5,000 naira, a briefcase knocking from door to door. I don't know what you can say, but that is awesome. Now, it started as a new look, right? Shola at City People will tell you that, right? If you want to know the story of Anu signature or my story as a brand, Shola can tell you the story full, right? Now, we started as a new look, right? And I started that in the University of Ibadan, right? Door to door, knocking on doors. I finished from law school. I opened up New Look. City People was my first call. I would advertise, do all of that. Then I started jewelry, right? So we started the jewelry brand. It was growing a little, but the makeup was big at the time, and my business grew. We became like top 5. Me, Banke, Tara, Unveil. Then there were offshoots under us like Ewa or Pleasant Memory and so many others. So then after that came Anu's signature. So the former deputy editor in City People, Auntie Susan, right, realized that I had a flair for jewelry and it was an incurable addiction. So every time she sees me, she's like, she'll be shame. Woman. So I'm like, well, 1 second. Sorry. So she noticed my jewelry flair, right? And it was just an incurious. So she said to me, I'm not saying stop your jewelry. I'm not saying stop your makeup, right? Or writing or anything you want to do, but start up something with Anna's signature, you know. So it wasn't called Anna's signature, it was called Alexander McCarthy. And boy, that was a very successful business. Damn, it was successful. Damn, it was successful. Like it was really, really successful. So Alexander McCarthy, we just used to do diamonds. In fact, I think we did only diamonds. I don't even think we did anything else. I literally don't even remember doing anything else. So we just used to do diamonds, gold, accessories. That was it. But we did mostly diamonds. Actually, we did only diamonds and gold, right? Alexander McCarthy was extremely successful. Extremely successful. No, very, very successful. So what happened? That's the question. Life. I don't think there's anybody life has hit like me. Boy, it just comes from every corner. You don't even know where it's coming. Bass, booze. You know what they say, bass, booze on the internet now? Like, you see what going to happen. Now, when we started Alexander McCarthy, so our first major big celebrity was the band's sister, right? And that was huge for my brand. It was so huge. It was so huge, it shut down my brand in 3 months. It was, and it wasn't the world of social media. It's not what you have now. It was so huge, the brand shut down in 3 months. Now, after that order, right? We got over 200 orders in the space of 2 weeks. Here's me. I just started this business. The business was 1 year old. I didn't have infrastructure in place. It was completely a couture business. You come in, you sit down with us. Like if you step outside, you see the display is very little. You come in, it was hands-on. Come in. It was pure thing of luxury at its highest. Don't think of it as its lowest. At its very, very highest. You come in, I sit down with you, I design your diamond ring, I sit down, design the carats, design everything, and we go into production. And then we do one celebrity, and then it shuts down the business. How? 200 people in the space of 1 month. It was crazy. I couldn't afford it. So here's what happened. I started refunding money. Some people would even call you, besides us your account details. Once you send 10 million, one day I said, oh man, I'm mad. Are you mad? Are you mad? What? Actually, there was a joke when it started, right? So because it was the new internet era, people weren't used to it. I thought it was a scam. So my assistants just kept sending out, and we had our office in Ikoyi, right? If you think this office is fine, I say a prayer to every entrepreneur who will watch this or who will listen to this. Olon Jekaru show. It's a big prayer. If you think this is fine, it's a child. That was a state of art. It was beautiful. So once you come into my office, you don't even need to talk. You decide from the door. The moment you open the door, it's just like here. The moment you open the door, you decide, can I enter this office? Can I afford them or not? It was just that simple. So in my career office, we had something like that. We didn't even have a showroom. We just had a conference room. You book an appointment before you see me. If you don't book an appointment, you can't see me. It had nothing to do with trying to, and I remained normal. I never let it get into my head. I never let status or all of that accolades get into my head. But if you don't book an appointment, how do you see me? So you book an appointment, you sit down, but you're sure that by the time you are going to meet your expectations. Like we had a few here and there, like every other person, but we had more. with every sense of modesty, I think we did about 1,000 or more diamond wedding rings. Not cubic zirconias, not diamonds. At some point, my goldsmiths and I, my team and I, we lost count. So we're telling her, "Mommy, you made what I said last week. Madam, I'm going to die." At some point, I was sleeping in the workshop. At some point, I was making so much money. I couldn't spend it. I didn't even see the money, by the way, because as one order is entering, as you're hearing him, before you get to that door, you're hearing him. Before you get to, so I'm like, what is this? Is this what success is? This is insanity. So one day, my goldsmiths and I had three goldsmiths at the time. I had one in Nigeria, I had one in Dubai, and I had one in Italy. Now, the one in Italy, I hardly saw. We just did, because I didn't even have time to travel. I had some big orders that would say, go to Dubai. Some people just come to my office in all their modesty, right? And you say, "Madam, you're going to Dubai." I'll say, "No, I just got back 3 days ago." They say, "No, we know." Okay, what am I going to do this time? Sorry, pause it. People would come to my office and they're like, "Madam, good afternoon." I'm like, "Good afternoon." Okay, so we need an engagement ring. And I had very crazy clients. You think the clients in town are crazy? Nah, these ones are small boys. Small boys. They're still playing with money. They don't understand the definition. So they'll be like, "We need an engagement ring. I want to propose to my wife." And I'm like, okay, so what are you looking at? They say, "No, tell us your best." I said, "No, we do diamonds, we do cubic zirconias, and we do gemstones." So they look at me and say, so as you are looking at me now, I look like cubic zirconias. I thought it, and we never used to advertise Alexander McCarthy in any paper. It was purely internet and referrals. Purely. So some people say, "Write your price." I'll say, "No." Initially, it took me a while to get that. I never quite understood what they meant. They'll say, "Write your price." I'll say, "My price? Okay, so what ring?" They say, "Madam, we need this ring in 3 days." I was okay, that's doable, but you have to pay expedited. The girl will say, "Give me your account number." You're still talking so much. You just hear 5 million. 10 million. I want is solenu. You understand? Money that can make you think that what are you doing with your life? So here I am. I have to go. Oh, I leave Nigeria and I have to travel, and I have to go and find a solution to that problem. 3 days, I'm in and out. Yeah. Now we have to travel. I get on the plane. I'm out. And because when I started Alexander McCarthy, it was a gamble. I was running an events company, which was also very big, Alexander McCarthy events. So it was like me, the likes of Funke Bucknor, Elizabeth R. I mean, we were the pioneers. I was big. I knew my brand was big. So I was running an events company, but clients kept coming and saying, "Madam, don't you do rings?" So this is where my starts into the real high-end jewelry or luxury. This is my into the luxury you're about to hear. So this couple walked into my office one day, and I looked at the guy and I'm like, "Why does this guy look lost?" So I said to him, "Are you okay? You look troubled." He said, "Yes, we have 30 guests to cater for tomorrow morning. Somebody has just disappointed us, and we got a referral that you can help us handle our events." I said, "Okay, tomorrow morning." They said, "Maybe we can push it to next morning." I said, "That will be 24 hours." They said, "Madam, money can fix problems." I said, "Depends on the kind of money you're talking about." I said, "A lot of money." I said, "Okay, let's hear it. How many guests?" 30 guests. He said, 30 guests, and I have 5 million. My heart sunk. Some you can relate that. So I'm like, "No, 30 guests." And me being a planner, I said 30 guests, 5 million. No, we don't even need that much money. I said, "No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you that's what I have. Can I have your account number?" And he sent me 5 million, and he walked out, and his wife sat down. I said, Madam, please save me. That was my sojourn into real money business. But if you're a business person and you haven't prepared yourself for shock and being able to pretend that money does not move you, then when money comes, it will move you and it will unsettle you. So I smiled and I said, that's not a problem. But I said, can I have a minute? So I went into my bathroom and I said, okay, so mad. What's going on here? Yeah, are we okay? So I came back, I put myself together, I sat in front of her, pretty bright. I said, what's the problem? And she said, all her vendors, it's her planner just went off with their money. I said, okay. So I ended up planning that event. And I had to look for an engagement ring in ruby and diamonds in 24 hours. And in the whole of Lagos, my dear, in the whole of Lagos, about 12, 13, 14 years ago, nobody had ruby and diamonds on display. I said, this can't be real. I mean, my budget for the rings was not even in the 5 million, it was a different budget. The guy said, just let me know what it will cost. Oh no, we've made some good money. I mean, business has been good to me, if not for the up and down. Now, so the guy said, my wife said you can't find a ruby ring. Can I know what you can find? I said, there's sapphires. I said, just tell me the price. I said, no, I mean, they're pretty pricey from 2-3 million upwards. So the man said, I give you 5 million without asking for your credentials. You think an engagement ring will be expensive? So he just said, let the vendor transfer them. I said, no, you transfer it to me. So he transferred it to me. 3 million engagement ring. I said, what's going on here? And I looked at it and I already had jewelry business knowledge. I asked the guy, I said, this is 3 million. He said, yes. I said, how can this be 3 million? I said, this can't be 3 million. 3 million. It's not possible. Anyway, I now noticed the gap in the market. So, after that order, I just put bridals and rings in my business. So as we started getting 40,000, 30,000. It was slow initially, 25. I didn't mind, So my staff said I had a good big staff. I mean, we had an event company, so I had a big. You can imagine the staff strength. Anyway, so my staff said, Madam, let's make this thing more serious. I said, well, this thing's not going to do anything. Guess what happened? The repeat of what happened 3 years earlier, 2 years earlier, when I was. So this guy just walks in again, looking lost, and says, I need an engagement ring in 5 days. I said, that's fine, depends on what kind. I said, no, I hear you only do diamonds. By the way, we had not even started doing diamonds then. I said, oh yeah, we only do diamonds. I said, okay, that should be fine. So if we give you 3 million, you can come up with it. I just started studying. I said, come on, man, we should give me a break. I'm still finding my 30,000, 40,000. So he said, yeah. I said, okay, but I don't want you to do it in Nigeria. So just let me know what your ticket and everything will cost. Are you joking? So the guy paid for my plane ticket, did everything on here. And he sat down with me. He said his girlfriend is very particular with jewelry. We had like a really big cubic zirconia on the sides. I said, no, those are cubic zirconias. They're big. But why don't you use gemstones if you can't afford that kind of big diamond? He said, okay. So we picked a big sapphire, which was like Diana. Late Diana of the royal family. There's a sapphire ring that's been in the royal family. So he just goes onto the internet and he gave it to me. And as a result of that order, we produced over 50 of that ring. Over 50. Right? We had to structure it, and then we now started the bridals from the events brand. And then we became overwhelmed with the bridals. The orders were just coming in back to back. It was crazy. So because we had very limited staff strength for the events, I said, okay, let's move some people to the bridals. It didn't work. So we just left the events. I mean, it was bringing in more money anyway, so we just left the events and we just focused fully on the bridal. So we were doing wedding dresses, we would order, we would design it with blings and all of that. And then we were doing wedding rings, but mostly wedding rings. So the rings, and then the fact that we had not put that structure in place for the rings, and having just about 2 goldsmiths, it was crazy. And we were not even advertising, we were just simply online and referrals. So one person would hear about it, I would tell the next person, and that was it. And then it just blew up. It just blew up before our faces. And we couldn't even handle it. We couldn't even handle it. Yeah, so we had to take a break. It got to some point that we had to start refunding people's money. Yeah, because we weren't performing. We were late with our orders. We were mixing up orders. We just were not performing right. So I said, stop. Let's just calm down. Let's put everything right, and then and so that's how we stopped. So we took a break for a couple of years. So after the break, I said, now then that's how. Is that your next question? Do you want to ask?
My next question is actually the process you go through in terms of jewelry.
Right.
Like you're talking about goldsmiths, you design.
Oh, the process is long. Well, it depends. Now, for the previous brand, which is what led to Anno's signature, right? Because Alexander McCarthy had already it's grown, and I wanted something that had my name in it, and it was just very me, right? So I started Anno's signature, obviously. But Anno's signature did not start because I wanted something that I just wanted a brand that was, smaller and people could afford and pick 1 or 2 things. And then I realized that everybody would say to me, you're not doing well with this cheap jewelry. You're not doing well, So we used to go for so many exhibitions, and then 3 days later, people would call us and say, your jewelry this, your jewelry that. So my people said, I think it's time for you to go back to where you really belong, which is luxury. So I said, well, we had set up a new signature. We put a structure in place. So I sat down and I said, I'm going to put a structure in place for this business. Know that in the long term, we're still going to have the kind of experience we had with Alexander McCarthy anyway. So, but then we would make this right. So now, Anno's signature started as a medium brand, and then somehow we just found ourselves back in luxury. And what is the process? It's still pretty much the same process we source for our. Now the difference between Anno's signature and Alexander McCarthy now is Alexander McCarthy, we did not have a single stock. You can't even come to the store and find anything. We didn't have stock, we didn't have anything on display, nothing. But with Anno's signature now, we have a ready to wear. You can come in, pick 1 or 2 things, and we still have our couture, which is the core of our business, which is the essence of our brand, which is the experience we want to deliver. We want to talk to you and say to you that, look, if you come here, anything you want. If you're going to distract me, you're going to get out. Get out. Let him go out to distract me. There you go. Exactly. Anno's signature now. The core of it is that we want to be able to say, every time you walk through our door, even if you can't find it, we can deliver. Right? So it cuts across the man, the female, the male, the brides, and bespoke. So we still have that experience. We still have that thing where you come in and you feel like you came, we sit down with you, we have a meeting with you, we take notes, we go into your personality, we know what your wife likes, we talk about your bridal, your rings, your jewelry, everything, and then we sit down with our team of goldsmiths all over the world. Now we're partnering, we have partners in Italy. When we were doing Alexander McCarthy, we just had goldsmiths in Italy. And now we have partners in Italy. And Anno Signature has its affiliates in Italy. So it's now going to be Anno Signature in Nigeria and Anno Signature in Italy. Hopefully, maybe before the end of the year, we should be able to have something there, right? So we're partnering with people there, and so now it's going to go global in a couple of months, and that way we know that nobody does jewelry better than Italians. Nobody, so we're gonna partner with them. We're gonna sit down with them, and then anything you want, we sit down, we deliver. We give you a period of 1 month, before, if you bring 20 million, we can budge. But now we will not budge because we don't want history to repeat itself. Because we don't want to be overwhelmed by others. Because others, we don't want to say, oh, see money, and then we crash. No, we want to remain consistent. We want to remain stable, and we want to keep going. So I think pretty much that's the process.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to know.
You 40 years today. What can you tell us about that? Back from 50 years back to now.
Wow, I'm 40 years. I could actually ask you to direct the cameras to the man behind me. What can I tell you? Well, I mean, I can't say a long story on that. It's just got to be brave. I'm grateful. Gratitude, because it's been a lot of ups and downs getting here, like every other person in life. So I'm 40, I feel great, I'm happy. I'm more excited that I get to go back to my passion, which is jewelry, and the fact that now I can do it in a structured environment and then go back to my second passion, which is writing. Sorry.
I'll be back.
So I'm more excited that I get to go back to my business, and I get to actually launch my business on my 40th, and we launch it as a luxury brand this time with a state of mind. I mean, say what you like. This is a beautiful office. I like it, and I'm just happy, And I say to anyone outside who feels they can't do it, my dear, the sky is big enough. What's the problem? What if you're 50, you can do anything? How do I feel? Great. Am I gonna stop? No. Is life gonna hit? Yes. So yeah, I feel great.